start off by saying I've had an opportunity to serve on the governor's small business advisory cabinet, and I can share with each of you, she personally cares about small business. I've seen it firsthand. Madam Speaker, you've appointed me to the small business committee, and let me serve as co-chair, and I know you care about small business. What I'm struggling with is the only reason I can figure why we're introducing this legislation is simply to provide equity to sole proprietors so they're on the same level as S corps or partnerships, because this legislation makes no sense. Now let me share with you why. I serve as the director of a small business development center. And the reason a business forms a sole proprietorship is it's easy. It's simple. And if I offend, I don't mean to, but it's for folks who don't have a level of sophistication yet to understand how a corporation or an LLC or other methods of doing business are formed. In addition, they form a sole proprietorship because they're assuming their liability is going to be extraordinarily limited. Okay? They're going to operate on their own. They're going to operate in a business that's not going to have high risk. So right off, this legislation is not going to benefit attorneys or dentists or doctors or attorneys or CPAs. They're not going to form and remain partnerships. Who this legislation could benefit is who Representative Gomberg's talking about, and that's that smallest of small business, the fisherman, the farmer, the cattleman, that person that operates individually and has a very dedicated business purpose. I would like to know, and I say this figuratively, what sole proprietor in their right mind is going to earn $500,000, $2.5 million, or $5 million and remain a sole proprietor? I'm just being honest. You would be insane. And as a small business development center director, if someone came in to me and said they wanted to remain a sole proprietor with $5 million worth of annual income, I would turn them around, take them to the door and say, we're going to go talk to an attorney immediately, and then to your CPA. Because with $5 million, you're going to begin to generate assets. And as a sole proprietor operating, you're not going to be able to protect those assets. Now let's complicate this even further. I'm a sole proprietor and I choose to bring on an employee. Well, what happens with that employee? I now assume a level of risk where I jeopardize all those assets and that income. And so I think we may want to have a little more of a conversation on this and look at who are we truly trying to benefit. When I work in that small business development center, the folks who I would recommend remain sole proprietors are those who are coming off of perhaps public assistance, those who are starting out a business that is extraordinarily simple. Say, for example, someone who does janitorial work, or someone who maybe is ready to take their boat and become a fisherman. Those folks who perhaps have income under $250,000. Sole proprietors who are operating at a moderate level of sophistication are not going to remain sole proprietors. And so I think we may want to take a look at this. I hear the conversation about revenue neutral. I'm not sure necessarily how we exactly get to that, but I do think this could be adjusted to actually help those it needs to help, because there are not very many sole proprietors earning $2.5 or $5 million that remain there, but there are a lot of them that are under $250,000. And so I think we better take a look at that and then figure out how to help those folks that Representative Gomberg